Hey, hello, what is up? How is everyone doing? Rock and roll. Right. Nice. Okay, as you can see from the amazing title, we're going to be doing some cool things today. We're going to be creating an end turn button. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Let's do this thing. Right. Sweet. So, if you're just tuning in, I'll show you. I'll show you what we've been up to last week, or last 2 days ago, and what we're going to try and do today. So where are we at the moment? Let's have a look. So we've created this sort of layout at the moment, and these are sort of going to be playable cards, and by dragging up, the cards actually do something. They spend the mana, and then they add 5 defenders and stuff. And let's just say if I did attackers, it's going to spend that mana and click down. And one thing which I'm quite happy with is it showed a particular problem which I actually want to address. It's where sometimes when it's playing, it just click down. Now, I think that's to do with like when you actually move off, it shrinks. The card sort of shrinks down and it moves it to a set place. So that's what it's to do with. So that'll be like quite easy to fix. So yeah, right. And so our main goal for today is I might even actually be able to get a little text box to have a little checklist of all the things that we're looking to do today. Because ideally, I want to do more than just do an end turn button. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I think first of all we'll start with something easy. We'll try and work out why when you play the card sometimes it just clicks down. I'll see if I can actually create it again, because again part of coding does involve actively trying to recreate a problem so that you can learn how to fix it. So we've got this one. If I keep my mouse perfectly clean, it does that. I think if I do that and then move my mouse back down, then it goes to the bottom. That's fine. That's easily fixed. Right. So where are we up to? Right, card script. So I'm going to Control MO. So we've got move card back, and yeah, and what's happening is it's doing this function because when we exit the card, when we like move the mouse off of the card, it will then move back. And what's happening is we're playing the card, then we're moving the mouse off of it, and it's just defaulting to doing all of this. So what we kind of want is we want to make sure that it only ever does this when the card isn't being played, which shouldn't be too difficult. So how is the card actually played to begin with? We've got a drag card. Busy equals true. And I think, yeah. So this will only ever happen. All of this will only ever happen if you have enough mana and it's being played. So if we have a new boolean, have it near here because I think we'll have private bool card being played. There we go. So as soon as we're actually playing the card, we'll have card being played equal to true. Hey man, you alright? Oh, wicked. Yeah, how are you doing, man? Card being played equals true. Yeah, and we can have it right at the end here. Oh, yeah, I'm doing really well, actually. I had a third vaccine, and everyone quite often, like once they've had the third one, sometimes they feel a bit like a little bit unwell the next day, and it's taken its toll, to be honest. But I'll see. I think I should be okay though for today. And my arm hurts as well. But apart from that, I'm doing wicked. There we go. So, while the card's being played, it shouldn't have access. That should be alright. You might try and wonder why I've got a spoon in the mug, but I've just always got used to just stirring it and just keeping the spoon in. So, move card back. Yeah, and right. So hopefully it will only ever do this move card back function now when the card isn't being played, or more like it should prevent it from doing the card moving back when it is being played. Yeah, okay. Ah, cool. Right, nice. Okay, here we go. So, first of all, I'm going to keep the mouse in, and it hasn't shrunk down. Now, the problem which I had is when you play it and then you move the mouse off, and it does that. Okay, and it still works there. Okay, right. It's always good to make sure we haven't messed something else up whilst trying to fix something, but that looks pretty good. Okay. Right, so an end turn button. Okay, this is going to be a little bit complicated. There's going to be quite a lot going on because we're going to have to do, when we end the turn, I kind of want it to be similar to Slay the Spire in that it discards all your current cards, and then draws 5 more, and then resets all the mana crystals, mana coins, which, and I think like when you actually break it down into little steps, it should be okay. But one thing which I haven't actually done yet, I haven't created like the Sprite for an end turn button, which I'm going to do something a bit cheeky. From my previous game, I've got a button which looks pretty good. I just need to change some of the text on it. So, right, where are we? Right, it is. Right. Oh yeah, I'll move it over here. So, it's got to remember. I think it's Boxer Tear stuff. Got to remember where I put it. Oh yeah, actually not. This is fine. Right. So I'm going to just go. I'm just going to save this in my no, that's one too many. Yeah, in my Rumpletown sprites. I'll have a new folder called Buttons. And we'll call this, I don't know. Okay, I haven't thought of anything, but yeah, we'll just call this end turn button. Right, so now we're all in there. It's fine. We don't need a lot of these things. We can get rid of all this. I don't know what's on there. Cool. So obviously it doesn't really need to be classic because oh, it's locked. Okay. Oh yeah, it's just there. Okay. And I kind of want to change the colour as well. We're going to, yeah. I know it feels a bit. It does feel a bit cheap. It's like I'm just stealing it from another game. But I just quite like it. I just quite like the look of that. It feels very much like you press it and it's sort of goes down. It makes, yeah. Anyway, right. We're gonna have end turn. I kind of want it all in caps. I don't really know why. I think it would No, we can have it lowercase, that's fine. Right. That looks a bit rubbish. So I think there's a particular font which I did quite like, where it's a little bit sort of... it might even be that. You know, I think that one actually is the one that I quite like. And yeah, so how big is that? That's a bit too big. So we'll make it just a little bit smaller, maybe 20. Is that too small? 25, let's go for it. Right, nice, okay. Right, and now I want to make it sort of bolder and stuff. And I think the advantage of having everything just grey, or different shades of grey, means that you can sort of manually change the colour of it to whatever you like in code. Right. Yeah. I appreciate that, man. you're like, I think like that it is like I've kind of got a sort of quite a few sprites from various different games that I thought, oh, you know what, that sprite is fine. We're just gonna reuse it. Oh. That's good. I'm not gonna spend too long on this. I just kind of want to have just a little bit of. Should be all right. Okay. And then we kind of want to get that on the next frame as well. Right, now is that actually just perfectly lined up? Yeah, okay. Alright, that did not take as long as I thought it was going to take. Brilliant. Okay, we've created the end turn button. Okay. There we go, right. Now let's put it somewhere in our project. I'll put it there, I'll put it... We can create another folder. Again, just love making loads of folders. Buttons, it's fine. We'll give it the same treatment, turn it down to 64. Do all of this. Make sure it works right. Okay, and now what I want to do first, before anything, is having just literally having it so that when you click the button it goes down and then goes back up. And at the moment it doesn't need to do anything. But yeah, that's what we're going to make first. And then we'll get it to do all the important things that we need it to do. So first of all, we're going to create a sprite. Now, in the old Unity, it was just 2D object sprite, and then that was it. You can make all of this stuff here, but I can't. I just use the square. I can't. I'm just used to only having the square as an option, so I'll just stick with that. Right. Okay. Right. And we'll have buttons here as well. Oh, yeah. Now, I've got choices here. What I'm tempted to do, because I just feel there's going to be multiple buttons, I might just have a generic script that I call button that does something quite basic, and and then have a child of that that's going to be like the end turn button that does something specifically to end turn. So I think that's probably the way. Yeah, so I'm going to have button script. Right. So the things that we're going to need in all the buttons, we need access to the transform. So we'll need. Oh yeah, of course. I don't know why I can't actually remember that. So open curly brackets, get semicolon, protected set. Yes, okay. Right, I actually need to get this into my memory because this is really, really useful. And I just have to go back to this script because I can't remember. Okay, all right. Okay. Public Sprite renderer. There we go. Sweet. And we're going to void awake. So this is always going to happen. So we're just getting access to these. They will definitely be useful at some point down the line, I'm sure. Okay, now I've got to remember the exact exact syntax. So it's protected virtual void setup. Oh yeah, what we'll need as well. So I think that's okay. So I'm going to just have a little script saying we hopefully won't ever read this with an exclamation mark. That's fine. So making it a virtual one essentially means we can access our own personal one when I make a child of this. When I'm going to have specifically like the end turn button script, and it does setup. It's going to have its own version of what happens in setup. Right, another thing that I'll need a. In fact, yeah, I'm going to have a protected sprite, which is going to be button up sprite and protected sprite button down sprite. And I'm going to have a public bool that's busy. Right, okay. And, yes, right, here's where we got, so we also want on, hold on, I pointer, oh yeah, sorry, ignore that, we need to do all this first. Event systems, that's the one. Okay, so this is part of the stuff that we need to do to make sure we're getting access to the button actually reacting to when you go over the mouse button. I pointer down handler. So public void on pointer down. So one thing that it's still always kind of, I always find it a little bit complicated, is the reason I've got this function. If I didn't have this function here, this would actually give an error message. So by putting this as one of the like I guess parents of this script, it has to have a particular function that's called on pointer down, and it's got to have an argument that's called point event data PED. I don't actually ever need to refer to this, but it is just you need all that in order to get it to work, to my understanding. I might get proven wrong at some point, but yeah. Anyway, what we'll do, we're going to do something. We're just going to check everything works, but the whole button is actually working at the moment. So, hey guys, right. Yeah, because I kind of want to get this far, and then we're going to kind of build on that. Right. So, yeah, that should be okay. And I think we can even do this. I think we can do this as well. So in this case, even though it will actually it will run this bit of code, but like once we've actually made multiple buttons, it won't. It will do its own separate one that's in the child. That'll make a lot more sense later on. Okay. So first of all, we need to give this a hitbox. Add component, 2D box collider. Cool. Right, and we need to give it the script. So at the moment, I'm just giving it the button script. I will eventually create a end turn button script, but we'll get to that. So does this work? Right. I've also got to work out exactly where I want the end turn button. So, let's see. Yeah, okay. Hopefully you won't ever read this. That's true. And we got the hey guys. Okay, brilliant. Now let's go back into the script. That's all right. That's about the progress that we wanted to happen. So, what we actually want to happen is. We're going to have private button down routine. And yeah, for the time being, for the time being, I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to have button up sprite equals sources.load sprite. We're just going to load it into here, but but this is going to be code that we're going to be using multiple times over. So this won't be like the final product, but again, I just want to test everything's working. So we've got to find the button up sprite and the button down sprite. And we also want to set the sprite renderer equal to the button up sprite. And I'm actually going to have a I don't know if I'll need this, but I'm going to create a boolean. So instead of saying "Hey guys," we're going to have if not busy. Start button down routine. Okay. and we have busy equals true, and button down equals true, and then we're going to make them all false. Right, and then we want to have all the fun stuff in the middle, right? So button sr dot sprite equals button down sprite, and then while open brackets input dot get mouse button. So yeah, it's got to be 0 there, because that's essentially, so we're actually detecting if the mouse button is currently down, and 0 is referring to the left mouse button, which is like the most commonly used mouse button, the most intuitive. So while all that's happening, and then we want yeah, that was it. So we're actually also going to have an I pointer down exit, I think. Yeah, exit handler. So pointer exit. Button down. Yeah. I had that brief moment where I had to look at where a button was on the keyboard. That is always a worry. Oh, where's the ampersand? I can't remember. No, it's okay. I found it. We located it. So, and now we want that to go back to. We technically. No, we do need that. We still need. Yeah, we still need that. Okay. And that needs to be button up, Sprite. Okay. Right. I kind of, you know what? I think maybe there or something. It needs to be slightly out of the way so you can still see what else is going on. Oh yes, I see where I've gone wrong there. I forgot to actually refer it, so it's just picked the first sprite, which is an empty sprite. Okay. Alright, let's give this a try. Yeah, okay, right. That has done the thing that I wanted to do. So now we can, we've got this generic button script that will always have this, and we can have more stuff happening a bit later. But that's the main thing that I wanted to achieve so far. Right, so when we end turn, what are all the things? We might even have a separate script that's going to be called like the end turn script, which I kind of want to. I'm trying to work out what I'm going to. I might just attach it to the big boy script that's got all the other stuff. So we've got this master script here, and we're going to have like an end turn script. So actually, let's do the thing that we were originally going to do. So create button end turn script. There we are. Right, okay. So now we've just got button script. Protected override setup. Okay, that's good. And Control X. And we'll keep this back here. So, okay, I like that. And okay, and now we just need to change the script on this one. So yeah, so now it's actually going to be a child of the button script. So remove component, and obviously I'm going to do a test to check this is still working. Check I haven't made built any problems up or something, but this should be okay. Button. Oh, we haven't even named it, have we? Right, end turn button go. So yeah, now that we've actually sort of wangled this a bit, it should hopefully still work. It should do, like, my plan is it does exactly the same as what it did when we tried last time. Yes, yeah, it still works fine. Okay, brilliant. Right. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to on here have one. This is going to be one of the core scripts. End turn. I'm going to call it end turn master scripts. There we go. Right, here we are. Okay, right. So, public void end turn. That's it. We're just going to call it end turn, and end turn routine. Okay. Yeah, right. Oh, I think I've accidentally pressed insert. Okay. Yeah. Public pool. Busy. And kind of this is why I like making sort of quite big routines that do a lot of things, because you've got to work out all the variables that you need whilst you're actually putting it all together. So start coroutine, end turn routine, busy equals true equals false. Right, so it's probably easier if we actually just put comments in all the things that we want to do. So first of all, we want to discard the current cards. Then we want to draw 5 more cards. 5 more cards. And then we want to refresh the mana coins. Okay, so we're going to start with that. How do we discard all the current cards? So that will probably need access to the hand script, I reckon. But yeah. Why do I keep all this stuff up here? Let's just get rid of things that we don't need. We probably will need that. Don't think we need that. So let's go get the hand script and then work out how we can discard all the cards from there. Okay. So yeah, in fact, I can do it slightly, yeah. Now, I came up with an idea for a way of always, yeah, I haven't actually, I'm going to dabble with a particular idea that I thought of, right? Because I'm always going to want access to this hand script, and sometimes it can be a bit awkward trying to get hold of the reference. So I might think this is a terrible idea, but I'm going to have a private function where we return a hand script. And then we just simply have if hand script is equal to null, then hand script equals find out object of type I don't know, like it's kind of a lazy way of so that means that we don't actually need to do any sort of difficult code to try and access it. But I don't know. That's just what I was thinking of the other night. Because what that'll do is it will mean whenever we create this script, whenever we create this function somewhere in like an I enumerator, it will always get us the hand script. And it should only ever do this find object once, because once it's done it once, then it will no longer equal null, and it will just get straight to it. That's just more what I've been sort of thinking about, but I don't know if it's that useful. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. I'll give that. I'll give it a try for the time being, but I don't know how happy I am about it. Okay. And actually, part of why I did that as well is I can access this. Remove card. Right, here we go. Okay. Probably, yeah. So remove card. So ideally, we want a function in here. If we have a public bool removing discarding cards. So what actually happens? What are we actually doing in this? So we're getting the card. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I might just create another one, so it'll look similar to that. Yeah, so we're looking to discard the entire hand. So yeah, so I know it does look like, because we were just trying to work out how to end turn, and part of it is involving having to go into hand script and creating another script there. That's why the end turn, there is quite a lot going on. So it's gonna involve like quite a lot of like back and forth. Right, so, yeah. What did I call it again? Oh, discarding cards, yeah, okay. Right, yeah, so we're going to start this function. It's going to work out a way of discarding all the cards, and then, yeah, right, that should be fine. So... 0 I less than cards in hand count. Actually, is there a better way of doing that? Yeah. Because I kind of want it to discard from the right side first. So I'm going to, actually I'll do it slightly differently. While and dot count is greater than 0. Okay. So what actually happens here? Finds the return deck. And yeah, we're looking to take from the furthest right. So the furthest right is going to be highest in the list order. So the end one is always going to be cards in hand dot count -1. And again, this is another. It's that typical sort of paradox of having like being busy within also being busy, because it's busy discarding cards and it's busy in this bit. But I think this should work. Well, busy. Because when it's actually removing the card as well, it is... Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do the first part of the end turn routine. which is discarding the cards, and we want to see if that works. So get hand script dot discard hand. And I kind of want to have a little debug. Cards discarded. Right, and then we'll see. Yeah. Now, to be honest, right, my first ever game, I didn't know about. I didn't know about coroutines at all, and I tried to fit absolutely everything in the update function. And when I had like a character that had multiple ways of moving and multiple different things, I generally found it when I actually finally found out about sort of coroutines, I was like, oh, I can do a series of things within a coroutine, and it. Yeah, like I personally prefer it, but I can't directly say it is better. And to be honest, I don't know if it's better for performance. Generally, coroutines are very good for doing a very specific thing that takes a period of time. It's more of a preference thing, but like I say, it's quite difficult because I've only got the Unity. The original. I haven't got Unity like Pro or anything. I can't really tell if it's any more or less efficient. And it's also, I love whenever I'm making a coroutine, I just get that excitement of, oh wow, where are we going? This is, I think I've got a bit of an obsession with coroutines. So, right, okay. So we want to see if it does discard the cards, which will involve a few little things. So here, we're going to have a protected virtual void. I'll call it activate. We hopefully never get to read this. I have the same again. So I think that's always going to happen there. Okay. Sorry, I'm just editing the button as well, so I'm making sure that you press it. The button, it goes to the down sprite, you hold it down, and so as long as your finger is held down on the mouse and you don't leave the actual hitbox of the button, it should remain down, and as soon as you let go, it'll always bring you back up to the button sprite, and it's saying here, if the button is down, then activate. But obviously, so the idea is you can tap and hold a button and then think, oh no, I don't want to do that, and then drag the mouse off of it while you got it down, so it won't activate there. So let's do a. So we've got protected override. That's fine. For the time being, I just want to check that all this is working. Right. I'm just going to have nturn in capitals. Nturn. So we haven't actually done any of this yet. I just want to check that the activation is working as and when I want it to. Let's have a look. So actually it's probably easier if I have this. Okay, so if I press it, end turn, brilliant. Okay, so it has worked if I do that, and then if I move the mouse off and then let go, it doesn't. Okay, yes, done that. Okay, so now we want to end turn master script. Yeah, we also want to give it this. Now, this is where I've got to make a sort of conscious decision. So where I've got this here, this particular script here, I mean, not exactly, but I can basically do this to get any scripts I want at any point without using too much processing power. And obviously, I can adapt it to whatever I want. However, I'll stick to the old school way of getting it. So. For the time being, and I'm just undecided because the problem with doing this is it means I'm going to have to do this bit of code every single time. So yeah, like I'll keep this here as a sort of like, you know, this is a reminder of how I could do it. But we'll just set it up elsewhere. Right, okay. So there we are. Okay. I'm going to actually have another boolean here that I'm just going to call internal busy. End turn. But yeah, that's one thing which I love about coding is you kind of you find things that work, and then once you've kind of learnt it, you can do it for every game that you make from this point onwards. You know, that's why I kind of get excited. It's like the day that I discovered how useful coroutines were, I was like, oh my, I can use this for everything. This is brilliant. Internal busy equals true. Again, this is one of those times where I'm doing a lot of coding, and the actual the overall sort of payoff reward will just be you get to see all the cards being discarded. Okay, so what we actually need to do now is, in order to access this, we're actually going to do something that we should have done a little while ago. Oh yeah, and we actually need to physically, at the moment I've just got it, sorry, explain what I'm talking about. At the moment, I've got this end turn button, which is just behind this loading screen. Yeah, I've got this. This is just here to begin with. I want to create it while we're creating everything else. So, oh. What have I done? I don't know if that's a glitch or anything. Hold on, just be one sec. Oh,
You stream.
sorry.
You stream.
Yeah. It's just my brother. For some reason that I'm not entirely sure, I don't know why this is here. I don't know if that's a bug, because the master itself should only be having... let me just check what's going on here. Okay, alright, that's better. Alright, yeah, for some reason... Oh, I see. I think this enables you to access what's in the master. And sorry, this is a whole new feature of Unity that I was unaware of. But yeah, that's fine. Okay, sorry, yeah, because normally I'm used to you clicking this and then it just goes into what is specifically in this master prefab, whereas instead it's actually still showing the rest of the scene, but making everything. Okay, it's fine. I thought I was going crazy. We're all good. We're all back on board. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this now. We've got the master script here. I'll have a new section that's like buttons. I haven't worked out what other buttons we're going to need, but we probably will at some point, so... Right, that's good, and we want public yeah, button end turn script. Yeah, that's fine. Right, here we go. So we need access to the game object, which is let's go. Right, here we go. So we've got access to it, and we'll create it after we've done everything else. Oh yeah, and that's what we need to do as well. Sorry. Right, first of all, we've got to work out exactly where the best spot to put it in. Let's just get rid of that. Oh yeah. And also, I kind of want to have a generic summon, a generic sort of like summon routine when buttons get created, which is probably going to be starting small and then just bouncing to being big, until I can think of anything more creative. And where do we want it exactly? I think we kind of want it about there. But I kind of want to try and round the numbers up a bit. So YFX is 7.5. Looks good. And -1. Yeah, that seems alright, doesn't it? So 7.5 -1. Yeah, and I'm going to have a very sort of generic summoning routine, like as in one that's going to be for that's going to work on all the buttons. True, busy equals false. Yeah, so we're getting close. I made the actual thing that I want to do like half an hour ago, and I'm just working to actually getting to actually make it clickable to actually work. So button sum routine. We want to make it start at 0. The size is 0. Button trans.local scale equals vector 3 dot 0. And then we're going to bounce it to size dot bring it to size. There we go. Target back. It's going to be set it to 1. Yeah. Size amplification, I want it as 1.25. And that's fine. Okay. This also means that when it's being summoned, you can't click on it. Because it's going to be in busy. Yeah, it's going to be currently busy while it's being summoned, and we've got here that it can't be busy. Right, point to size. Da, 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 da. Okay. Right, let's go back here. Right, now let's see if we can actually create it. Right, underscore end button turn script equals instantiate button end turn go. Where do we want to create it? We decided it was a new vector, I think -7.5. Oh, press the button by mistake. And I think it was -1. Get a component. Oh yeah, also, even though it's not like useful now, a bit later when we do have multiple buttons, it will be a lot easier to, if we wanted to get rid of all the buttons in one go, for example, we could access all the actual buttons and in one go. So that's why it is useful having a sort of a child script to the parent script. But that probably won't. Yeah, as I say, that's not going to be too difficult. That's not going to be too problematic now. But I like to sort of think for the future while I'm making games. Oh, again, I've done the classic. So I can't. Yeah, my head's in the way of the screen. Right. There we go. So. So what we actually want to do is set the scripts, and we can actually go as far as get component intern master script. Yeah, like the reason we can do that is because the main game master is also on the. It's like this script is on the same object as the end turn master script, so we can use get component, which even though it is still apparently quite expensive processing wise, it is infinitely cheaper than the find component, the find object of type. So yeah, sort of thinking, kind of thinking for the future. What have we got? I have no idea what music this is, sorry. Let's just go back to here. Right, okay, yes. Back to some nice, cool synthwaves. Wait, right, okay. There we go. So we probably don't need that anymore. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. I probably... Yeah, that's... Yeah, sorry, what I'm thinking... Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I kind of want to have a... public ball. This is going to have a busy one as well. Again, it's something that might be useful later. Okay, so set scripts and then summon. Okay, that's good. Right, sweet. So this should hopefully. So our plan is it does all the stuff when it's beginning the whole game. It's going to do all of this, and then the last thing it's going to do is create an end turn button, which should hopefully just boink into size, and then when we press it, it will discard our current hand. Right, let's go. Oh yeah. Okay. I also found in Unity you can press Control P. Right. Yeah, Control P to play instead of clicking here. Okay. Right. It hasn't created the end turn, and I've got to work out why. So we have still got it. Oh. It has created it. It's just put it on the... Got it on the wrong side. Okay, right, okay, let's just pretend it's on the right side. Okay, there we go. Right, so, yeah, there was no problem there at all. It worked fine. I kind of want this full screen. There we go. Right, so, nothing. And then... Yep, I know why. Because I haven't actually started it, I don't think. Yes, at the moment, activate is... just ending the turn, so end turn. I knew I was going to miss something, and while we're here, we're just going to get rid of this and hope no one notices. That's fine. No one saw that. It was all, we got away with it. Oh, right. It was always on the right. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, right. That hasn't quite done what I wanted it to do. Okay, that's fine. We've just got to work out the... that's actually... It's not as bad as it looks. So in an ideal world, though, I just like while we're here, we want to have a look at the hand script, hand go. That's fine. Oh, okay. Nope, I have clearly missed something here. We just need to make sure we've actually got it. So, remove card. Cards in hand. Okay, right. In my head, I thought it was going to work first time and it was going to be glorious. We probably need an actual, just a discard. I was trying to be lazy and using this remove card. This remove card does something not actually what we want it to do. So I was trying to be lazy and just be like, well, we can remove card. So I'm going to have discard card. Yeah, again, I was thinking, oh, this might just work, but we're gonna have discard card. So let me have a look at something. So on the, because it's actually quite a lot of what's happening. Is actually within here. So I think what we'll actually do, we'll have a function in the card script, which will just discard the card. Yeah. And all we want that to do is, it's a lot of this stuff, but not all of it. So we'll have a separate thing. Public void discard. Yeah, I was being a bit cheeky, hoping that would just that it would just magically work. So what we actually, so for us to discard, so what booleans have we got? I think we have a separate one, and for the time being we're going to make it public, which is just going to be discarding. Right, so discarding equals true, discarding equals false. And what are all the things that we need? So we need to remove it from the hand list. We want to shrink it and move it to the discard pile. I think that's actually all we need to do. Okay. So, I kind of want to do this one first. So, yeah, and a lot of this we can actually take from here. So form action. So we definitely want that. I think we want all of this as well. Oh yeah, we also want to add it to the discard pile. As well. Yeah, there's quite a lot going on in one go. And then once it's done all of that, then we want to remove it. But we kind of want to just flat remove it, so that still isn't too difficult. So, oh, actually, I can do that internally. Yeah. So I don't think we need that. Cards in hand. So let's we do all of that, and then we're going to remove it from our list. So cards in hand dot remove -1. Sorry, that needs to be -1. Okay. Okay, right. Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, it shouldn't actually matter how I do this. I realise I'm doing remove, not remove at. Remove at, and it gives you a number. But I think we can still have this. Okay. Right, so what are we doing? We're trying to discard the cards one by one. And one thing that you'll probably notice is whenever I'm doing anything, it's waiting for the next thing. So it will discard cards one at a time, which I don't necessarily want in the main thing. Yeah, I know. I think that's why, like, I agree with you, KO2 fan. Being lazy never works out. I think, like, that's why kind of like, there's just so many times when I've been lazy and then I've come back to it like 6 months later and been like, why did I do it this way? Now I've got so much more work ahead of me. This is why kind of like I've realised actually discarding the hand is quite a complicated thing to do. Right. Okay. We might run into an error message. Actually, there's something which I want to do very quickly before we actually give it a try, because it's happened a few times, and it might have probably happens. Yeah, right. It's probably happened. Yeah, like I say, multiple times where you accidentally create an infinite loop and then crash the entire of Unity. And I just have this slight worry that I have done this, so I just want to have a second look just to check. So while cards are in hand, while the count is that, we're removing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I made a mistake there. That needs to be -1. Okay, right. That was kind of lucky because that would have crashed otherwise. But actually, it doesn't need to be that. We can actually just have. Yeah, I actually kind of prefer that as well. Yeah, like I've got to be a bit careful because I do want a particular one of the power-ups or one of the sort of constructs that you make later in the game to be that you don't always discard your whole hand. You keep like your leftmost card, which is why I'm kind of going through all these efforts now, so that it will be quite easy to modify this code. Anyway, right, okay. Whoever thought just creating an end turn button would be this much work? But I love it though, it's awesome. Right. Come on. that was better than I thought it was going to be. Admittedly, I thought it was going to start from the right first. I wonder why that is the case. Let me just have a quick check of something. Oh, yes. No, it does make sense. It does make sense because as we're adding these cards, I think, yeah, this becomes the bottom of the list. So that's fine. That actually means it's even easier than I thought. We just need to have there as 0, I think. Yeah. So then now it should discard from the right. Let's give it a try. Okay. Okay. Right. Fantastic. Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. We are actually making progress. So, what are all the things? So we need to discard the current cards. Draw 5 more cards. Now, luckily, this end turn script. No, ignore that. Ignore everything I just said. Right. Now, obviously, we're going to run into another problem shortly, which where what if there isn't enough cards in the deck? So if there isn't enough cards in the deck, then we're going to shuffle the discard pile into the, or we're going to make the discard pile essentially become the new draw pile. But because I've got 10 cards, it won't be a problem for now. Right, here we go. What am I doing? Hand script. How do you actually create the cards in the first place? Oh, we actually need access to the we need access to the deck, don't we? So let's go find that. So deck script, that's it. Let's just have a look. It's fine. It's none of that. None of that. Give cards to hand. Okay. Easy. Right. So, okay. So my decision is, right, this is going to be the experimental script where we use this particular thing, this particular bit of code, over and over, and I'll kind of see how I feel with it. Right. So here we go. So it's basically, I wonder if I can kind of like make this look slightly less ugly. No, I can't. So this needs to be. I don't think that saved any time. Okay, all right. It's just this, right? I'm just going to have a little comment here with kind of like a sad face. because this is not. I don't like this. So it is like this is the end turn master is the only one that's going to do this stuff. That's fine. Right. So here we go. Right. And we'll have a little debug here as well. Just saying cards in hand or something. Right. I think I do have this worry that I'm going to go to sleep tonight, and then I'm just going to have this vision of this particular like type of like function, and it will just haunt me. Oh, right. Yeah. You might be right. You might be right. I actually like. So, like, out of interest, when you're doing like coding, do you use quite a lot of singletons? Yeah, it's because like the first few games I made, I just exclusively had quite literally about 50 or 60 different singletons, which kind of works out, but like. I've been told, you know, you shouldn't sort of make a habit, but you are kind of right. Yeah. I mean, like, because unfortunately, the singletons which I'm still going to stand by are, yeah, like, oh yeah, no, that's actually a lot better because I've got these two scripts here, which is Aaron and Mover. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you need something that's proper, sort of, like. Yeah, sort of relevant to everything. Now, one thing which we could actually do is I've got the script called Main Game Master. I could have another script that's called like Core Master, which is the which is a singleton, and it will have access to all of the other scripts on here, which I could do. I don't know yet. But again, that feels like it's just another way of having a singleton for everything. That's but yeah. Oh. Right, where are we? Anyway, sorry, we're kind of at the edge of the seat to work out if this discarding works. Can't even remember what I changed. Oh yeah, that was it. So we've discarded it. We're going to then get 5 more cards. Right, let's see if this works. Okay. Right, discarding, yep, from the right side. And of course it doesn't work because we haven't accessed it. Okay, that was just a trial run. Right. Right, so it's discarding the cards. Okay, nice. Right, now we want to refresh all of these coins as well. But yeah, that actually worked out a lot better than I thought. Right, cool. Now, if I was to press end turn now, it would give me an error message. In fact, let's go create it anyway, because there's technically no cards. And obviously, we kind of want to have it that it show that there's no image here. To indicate that there's no cards. So, yeah. That's fine, though. Right. Oh, right, so, yeah. But all things considered, that worked pretty well, actually. Right, where are we going next, then? we've discarded them, and we now want to refresh the mana coins. So we've got the mana script over here. We have. Oh yeah, and yes, I tell you what, it's more that I'm thinking as well. I kind of want to have where you have the mana script. I still want to have like 5 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 like mana. I want to have a number there as well. Kind of like Hearthstone and Slay the Spire. But I'll do that later. But so we're gonna have refresh mana coins. Right, cool. Okay. How are we going to do this? No idea. I'm going to kind of code and hope everything just comes to me. Right. So yeah. So we're going to have, first of all, we just want that to happen. So mana coins available equals mana coins max. And then we want, actually this shouldn't be too difficult, to be honest. So I think it's individual coin scripts dot. Oh yeah, of course, that's account. And now we're going to probably have to go into the individual coin script, but we're going to kind of make make each coin become unspent, I guess. Right, so we've got to go to there. So we probably need a function to be able to do that. So okay. Now we did discuss that laziness is it normally doesn't pay off. But I genuinely think I can do most of what this is, but to make it undone. So okay, make coin become unspent. Okay. This equals true. Oh no, please say it's not as... So we want the mana to be available, so that's true. And maybe we should have this as one of those... where are we? Right. Actually, it shouldn't matter. So mana available becomes true. We kind of want it to boink first. and then play this, but I can do this a bit faster. And we want to end on mana coin sprites 0. So yeah, that's basic. That should be doing all the things that we want it to do. So the mana script somewhere over here. That's it. Right. If individual coin scripts, so if it's not available, we're going to have it go. We're going to have it make it become available again. Maybe I should change it to available. Make mana coin become available instead of unspent. Yeah, I should do that. I'm gonna rechange those words. Make mana coin become available. There, and then while it's busy. Okay. Right, so we've got this. Enter master script. Okay. Right, I'm allowed to do. Right, let's actually type it out though. Type it out how I'd properly mana script. Private. Yeah, I think what I might do off stream at some point, I'm going to tidy this up. But I just wanted to sort of see how I feel with that. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going to wake up in sort of cold sweats, being like, "What is this? What is this code? This is terrible." Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, like I say, yeah, as I say, I'm gonna probably find another way around this. Busy, yeah, okay. And we want to have cards in hand and mana crystals refreshed. There we go. Right, that should be good. Yeah, right, let's give it a shot. I normally just do a few more checks, but let's see if this works. Because I'll need to actually spend the coins to, like, I'll need to spend the coins to be able to actually check to see if it works. It's also one thing which I kind of want to address now. When people are playing the games, they don't want to spend ages looking at all the animations, all the things bouncing up one after another. The only reason I'm doing it now is just for sort of simplicity. Anyway, guard recruits, let's play this. So that's used 2 mana. Yeah. Let's see more. It's fine. Ah, we can't use that one. Right, okay, so end turn. Right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, refreshing the coins. Okay, now hopefully we can just spend. Nice. Okay. Right, woo. Right, that's good. Right. Now if you press enter, now it will create an error message. Oh. No, it didn't, because I think I had some code earlier. I know, I got the disappointed look. I was assuming it was gonna create an error message. It didn't, because I think I've got some code that actually checks to see if it's empty or not. So, right. Okay, sweet. So what we want to do now is make it so that, like, when we end turn the second time and there's no cards left in the deck, it will shuffle the discard pile into the deck. I also want to make it so that when you actually discard a card, that it goes on top of the other, because at the moment I think whatever the first one that goes on is in front of the order in layer. So we've got both of those things to do. Right. Okay. Where are we up to? Oh yeah. So deck. So draw the number of cards. Oh yeah, there we go. If the count is greater than 0, else we want to shuffle the cards from the discard pile. Right. So that shouldn't actually be too difficult. We also want to make it so that it's like there's an empty sprite when it's there, but that's okay. Sorry, I'm thinking of all the things out loud that we need to do. So yeah, we'll shuffle the cards into the discard pile. And how do I want to make it look? Because what we've got here is I'm going to have this as a public function because this will be useful for later. Public void add cards to deck, and we can have a list. It could actually, I'm trying to work out if it needs to be a list or an array. I think it should be a list, but I might be mistaken. So card classes. Card classes, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Yeah, because it just requires a little bit of thought, because we're going to, at the moment, this actually shouldn't be too difficult. But I kind of want to have an animation as the cards kind of get discarded. I just haven't worked out how I'm going to do that. Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, I've got an idea in my head. I'm going to see if I can sort of play it out. So for in I equals 0, I less than. I don't need to do that at all, do I? No. I think this is better. I think this is better if I do it this way, even though it looks a little bit counterproductive. cards in deck. Dot add. Okay. Yeah, we just want to actually... Have we actually got access to the deck, the discard pile? We don't. But I'm not going to be lazy this time. I'm going to get a good way of actually putting it in there. So... Right. I'm sure there's going to be a way where we can have all of this rounded in one script. So, when are we actually creating the deck? I think that's one of the first things we create, isn't it? No, the discard pile. Oh yeah. So just set it there for the time being. There we are. Right. Cool. Oh. No, that's true. I know, I think part of programming is trying to work out the laziest possible way of doing things. You know, I do want to add a small air of professionalism. So we've decided we're going to have all of our shame guilt all rounded in this bit here. This is going to be the lazy guilt. This is where you're like, I can't be bothered to work out how to find this script. I'm just going to literally just use the processing power to find it. Whereas here we're going to go back to being sensible and professional and actually do it the way we really should do it. Right, so we've got the deck script. Oh yeah. That should be... Oh, why is that giving me... So that's saved... Oh yeah, right, where were we? Right. Oh, discard pile script. That's fine. Okay. So I don't know what I've changed there, but that's fine. Okay. Get rid of that. Right. So with the deck script, yeah, right, we want to shuffle all the cards. So I'm going to actually just have a quick look. Let's see if we've got any error messages. I want to have a quick look and try and work out exactly how I want everything to sort of go. So let's have a quick look. So, play a card or whatever. It's in the discard pile. Maybe I should have like an animation where this kind of like moves. Yeah, it could just kind of like sort of bounce over into there and sort of... Yeah, I quite like that. Okay, yeah, so we're going to have it, but in a sort of streamlined sort of way where I'm trying to work out a way of doing this without. So I kind of want if we just pick one of these cards, that's fine. Oh yeah, no. Okay. So I want to just end turn. Like, you know, when you're sort of like, I'm trying to sort of think out loud here. So we've got a bunch of cards in the discard pile, and I kind of want them to kind of sort of move over, but there to be a bit of a trail of cards where it's like where they've got a bit of a route that they need to go, and they're all heading there. Yeah. And then once that happens, then we shuffle the cards. So, right. So we need. Where's the discard? I don't have it here. That's fine. Fine. Right. Discard pile. Go to definition. Right, yeah, so we want to kind of like move them over, not one by one, but in a sort of fluid, like a kind of where they sort of move over. Yeah. Right. I've got a plan. I've got a plan. Okay. So this is going to be a public void. Yeah, move cards back to deck. Cards. Start routine. No, forget that. I'm thinking out loud because there's going to be probably times when we just want to move one card back into the deck. But no, we're just going to assume that is going to be the case for the whole time being. Right, so. So, busy was true. What are the actual... so the cards in the discard pile, that's what they're called. No. Okay, alright. Compromise. Move all cards back to the deck. Yeah, that's going to make it a little bit easier. So I can make a function a bit later if I want a specific card to go back in. Right. So here's where I've got an idea. Float time equals 0. Yeah. point. Yeah, so I've got moved to point bounce Y. Yeah, doesn't need to be local, that's fine. Cards in discard pile I. Dot trans. So we'll have to actually get hold of this. Right, it's okay. We're doing this a sensible way. We've got to find a good way of getting hold of the deck script, which is shouldn't be too difficult. Right, we're going to work out how we're going to get that deck script later. I want to do the rest of this bit of code and then come back to that. There we go. Time to take is going to be... Yes, okay, right. This will look glorious. This will look glorious. I've got a plan. We also want to shrink them down as well, so... yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this one isn't quite as taxing. This one doesn't... Let's have a look. Oh yeah, now we're going to make use of the time thing. So time equals 0. Like I say, there's a few things. For some reason, I made this conscious decision that every time I use time, it has to be lowercase. I think it's partly because if you use a capital T, it's actually a function in and of itself. So I always have time as a lowercase variable. While time is less than... So my plan is we're going to be moving all the cards back to the deck, and it's going to be in a sort of it's not actually going to wait for each card to move like individually. It's going to do all of them in a sort of flow, and where I've got here, that means that like it's going to bounce along, but it's going to be somewhere random, so it can go up or down or anything. So to kind of give that feeling that it's kind of scrabbling all the cards back into the deck. So that's good. And the reason that we've got this one is this is just going to record when the last card has moved into place. So but yeah, it's one thing that I would always recommend whenever you find a bit of code that you're like, oh, I really like this. It means you can use it everywhere. So it's like ages ago I did make this script, and it's just been it's just paid off. It's been so useful, like, you know, almost infinitely from now to the end of time. I'm always going to be able to use this script. Okay. Right. Okay, what I'm going to do, and do I just go incredibly lazy? No. Got to be professional here. Right, we need to get this reference. So we're creating the discard pile. Right. Yeah, so this is just going to make sure we got reference to it. And at the moment, it feels like all we actually need is the physical vector 3 position of where the deck is. So it feels a little bit long-winded to do all this, but I would rather like I'm sure we're going to need it later along the lines. So it's kind of like, yeah, part of like when you're making games is you want to sort of be thinking for the future as well. Right. Let's have a look. So where are we up to? Right. So we want. So whenever we're creating this. Just that over here. Okay. Right, so what's actually happening? So with the deck script. So yeah, so when the card count is equal to 0. Yeah. And so in an ideal world, it's going to do the whole function for shuffling back in, and then put the cards in afterwards. So if it's less than 0, yeah, okay. No, not add cards to the discard pile. Why do I always forget? I gave it such a good intuitive name. I just can't remember what I called the function. Let's find out. Move all cards back to deck. That's fine. Move all cards back to deck. There we go. Right. Okay. With that, and now we want to add cards to the deck. I think I've actually made it private. It's not private, but I think I should make it private. And just have public. Oh, whoa. Slow down. I just realised they're big. Okay. Yeah, just realised the problem, because that's the card scripts. It doesn't care about the card scripts. It cares about the card class, which is within the card script. So That should still not really be much of a problem. Just got to work out exactly it's the most efficient way of doing this. It's like, yeah, I remember, I think a bit last episode going in quite heavy as to how the card script is entirely different, does something completely different to the card class, because all we actually need is just the card class, right? Right, this is a bit of a thinker. Actually, no, there is an easy way of doing that. So we get rid of this. Add cards to deck. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, so yeah, because all this is happening in adding cards. Yeah, give cards to hand. Right, that's it. Sorry, I was trying to work out where we're up to. Right, there we are. So discard pile, move all cards back to deck, which is great. That happens, and then okay. So we're actually kind of essentially extracting the card classes from all the scripts that are in the discard pile. Because afterwards we can actually just destroy all the actual physical cards. So let's see. 4. Why don't we have actually just a function? That'd make life a lot easier. Right, just have a whole new function where it just gets gets all the card classes from the discard. That makes way more sense. So we're going to have public list of card classes. I'm making things way more complicated than I need to. I think this looks a lot easier. So get card classes from cards scripts. And then we can actually, yeah, I don't like having this big chunky, so we can actually have most of this over here, can't we? Right, there we are. Yeah. So, well, yeah. Sorry, I've been slightly zoned out, and I do apologise. Like the issue that I had was when our deck is empty, and we still need to draw a card. I want to have an animation of all the cards in the discard pile going back into the deck, and then the deck suddenly adding all of these cards. And I realise it's a little bit more complicated than I thought. Like because I just ran into the clash of the fact that the card script and the card class are two completely different things. Whereas I'm going to have a function now where basically you get all of the card classes in one nice function, and then you can add them to the deck. And that's what I'm working on now. Right, so cards in discard pile. Why did I ever think it was going to be this simple? Right, we need the card script. We got it here. That's fine. Card class. Oh, it is actually public. I'd still rather it be private. And okay, so now we've just made the actual physical cards themselves able to give us the card class. So now yeah, okay, here we are. Right. So over here, actually let's do this earlier on just to be on the safe side. So card. Yeah, okay, no, it doesn't need to be. Add cards to deck. And that is discard pile dot get card classes from card script. And now, so once we've done that, we're adding the cards to the class. Okay, I think that should work. Right, let's. Yeah, this is a bit of a thinker. So end turn. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, when it's been discarded, it haven't actually marked it as cards in play. Okay, it shouldn't actually matter for me clicking that. So end turn. It kind of look good, and I know why it's got 4 cards and not 5. It's because, yeah, that's right. There's, yeah, okay, that looked pretty good. Right, so what we need to do, we need to make sure that when they are discarded, the cards are no longer in play or in hand, because the problem that we've got here is when we hover over one point to enter, if the card is in hand, but at the moment, like when we're discarding, we're not actually making card in hand false, so we can just do it there. Okay. Right. And so that's one problem sorted. Yeah. And then deck script. So 4 int. So we've got to work out a good, efficient way. Like one way which will fix everything is if I just have number of cards and then just add 1 to it, and that should work. But I've got to work out if that's going to lead me to having problems in the later on. No, forget any of that. We actually essentially want this code here to just be in here. Okay. Let's get rid of all this. So yeah, so if we're trying to add a card to our hand, it will do this, and if there's none, it will do this bit and then add the card afterwards. That should work. I know that looks as though I'm just copying and pasting, but I actually think in this case that is probably what I should do. Right, and another big thing that I want to actually experiment with. So when we're setting up the basic thing, I'm actually going to have, say, 7 attack cards. So there's 12 cards in the deck, and it will deal with the concept. Oh yeah, oh thank you, cheers. Cool. Yeah, so I want to have, I want to have the concept of like when you're trying to draw cards and you don't have exactly like it doesn't. Yeah, so it should shuffle the cards midway through drawing. So let's have a little play around with that. At some point as well, I want to actually check to see if the different, if I set up different levels that work of the cards, because at the moment these are all essentially tier 1 or level 1, all the cards. So end turn, we should get another 5 cards like normal. That's good. And then everything should discard, then it will draw 2, then it will shuffle the deck, then draw the remaining 3. Let's see if that works. And yeah. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. That actually works pretty well. I like it. Okay, fantastic. Right. Actually made like I knew the end turn. I knew that was going to be a tricky one. So there's a couple of little things that I want to do. I want to make sure that the when we're adding to the discard pile, I want the one that goes on top to actually be in front of everything else, which sounds obvious, but and I also kind of want them to go slightly unevenly. I want him to kind of look like you're putting the cards, that it's actually a real person who's putting the cards on the discard pile. So how would we go about doing that? But yeah, so yeah, this is actually a pretty good milestone. So I've done the thing that I'm looking to do this stream. But like, so this is we're on borrowed time now. No, we're on so. It's got so discard pile. Look at the card script. So it'll require looking over here at the. Okay, so it's this bit here that we want to focus on. So what we kind of want, we want a function that doesn't just move it to the 0. So this vector 0, this is basically saying it's moving to where the discard pile is, and like it's like a parent of it, so it's moving to the local position, which is basically slap bang on top of where the little discard pile trash can thing is. So we kind of want to make it so it's vector 0 plus a little bit for however many cards are already in there. And we also, so okay, and we've got access to this discard pile, so I think we can actually do something quite clever. Turn. And I actually, believe it or not, that one function I think is all we need. So int I'm just going to call it pile number equals right. Yeah, so I'm going to do all this. This requires a little bit of thought. Let's just say 0.05 times by pile number, and make sure that is the float version. I don't know if this is necessary, but so it moves over to there, and then card SR dot sorting order it's just I'm gonna have 2 plus pile number, and we're also so that's shrinking it down as well, and we also want to go have a bit of a random angle as well. So rotates a point. And we've got to actually work out what's the actual key, what's the Euler angle. I think, is it the X? Let's have just a quick, I know there's going to be errors. Card stuff. No, not that. Sorry. No, it's not that either. It's the Z. It must be the Z. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Absolutely fine. Right. Right, so what I'm going to do, I want to make it so it just goes at a bit of an angle. It actually works. Now, I do feel that is my reaction to quite a lot of times when I get something, when I'm sort of playing around, I'm like, oh, hang on, I wasn't expecting it to work. I was expecting to give error messages. Right. Oh no, it's just. So yeah, it's somewhere along the Z axis, and it'll be somewhere between, say, minus, and bear in mind we're dealing with degrees, and I don't want it to like flip like too much or anything. So I want it to be, say, minus 20. And how long have I taken? 0.5. And a really good thing that I should do is where I've got everything, like all of these sort of functions where it's moving along, it's shrinking to a size, rotating. I've put 0.5, but a good way of actually of actually doing this to make it look slightly better, which is what I'll do, is I'm going to have a float called speed equal 0.5. And just change all of these to speed. So that way, if I want to suddenly, if I'm thinking, this is taking too long, people are going to kind of lose interest if they're waiting for all this long animation, I can just change this one number over here. Right, so. Okay. So that's when it gets discarded, but we also want it to do that when it's actually moving to the point as well. So and what I should do is just have a separate function, but for the time being, we're just going to adapt this. So that's going to give me an error message. That's fine. Just kind of so I don't think we want this. We want to just put the other stuff in. Okay. Right. Oh yeah. Okay. So first of all, we'll see if there's any error messages. See what happens. See if I've fixed the problem. Okay, we've got no error messages, so that's actually a good sign. So we're going to play a card and then see if it works. So in an ideal world, we'll discard it, it will move on to a point, and then when we play another one, it will go on top of it and at a slight angle. So let's just play this card. Play this one. Oh, because we haven't actually sorted all the order in layers. That's fine. So if we were to end turn now, they all get stuck on, yeah, but we haven't quite sorted all of the sorting orders yet. That's fine. That's easily fixed. And you know what? While I'm doing this, I'm going to actually just create a... oh, don't know what I've just done there. All right, Control No. We're going to have another separate... this will just save a lot of time moving... No, I'll come back to that. That might be something that I'll fix off stream. It just means that it's like whatever I'm changing to 1 here, I need to change to the I need to change here as well. So where we've got the SR, and we also want to make so it's this and this that we want to change. Okay. Right. So, so in that case, we can actually have equals 0, 1, and yeah, so basically I want to, it's also got to make sure that nothing's colluding, so it will be sorting order equals 2 equals 1 plus, but we also want to have this times 2. We're timesing this by 2 because otherwise the cards will still interlock, so we want to make sure there's a clear defined difference between each cards that go on top of each other. Right, let's see how that goes. Oh no, this, I've got to do the same bit of code here as well. That's fine though. Yeah, because what I kind of want to do, because basically I don't like copying and pasting code when I don't have to, which is why I kind of want all of this to be in one sort of function. But I'm just going to test to see if this works. Right. So play 1, 2, yeah, nice, and then end turn. Everything gets stacked on top of each other. End turn again. It's one big pile. That's slightly invading the end turn button. Okay. Right. How do we deal with that? We can move the end turn button up a bit. Actually, no. We just need to make the deck a tiny bit lower, and at the moment it's doing 0.05, but it doesn't actually need to be. It doesn't need to be that much higher above each other. So, right. We've got the discard pile. Where is it? Discard pile. It's currently at minus 2.5. If it was, say, minus 3. Yeah, that seems alright. Okay. So, pile number there. So yeah, we'll actually make it a slightly smaller difference. So 0. There. There. And then we're going to, and then we're just going to lower it down to minus 3, which is done in this bad boy. So another problem that I'm going to worry about at some point down the line is if ever you have a deck that's, say, got like, if ever for whatever reason the game works out that you can have, like, say 50 cards in your deck or 60 cards, then that's going to mean that it's going to have to process all 60 cards at some point when you've got loads in your discard pile. Okay. Oh yes, we haven't actually destroyed. We haven't destroyed the cards yet. So yeah. So let me just. I just realised. Yeah, once we've actually moved the. We've essentially moved all the cards over to this point, but they are still there. They're just invisible. So I want to actually see what happens. So yes, okay. So what we haven't done, we haven't destroyed these yet, and I'm not sure if we've removed them from the discard pile as well. The actual cards in there. Let's find out, actually. We can't find out here. But that's fine. So let's have a look at the discard pile. Let's check that when we've actually moved them back. Yeah, so move all cards back. Wait for all that to happen. Now we just want to physically destroy the cards. So I say physically, I mean programmatically we want to destroy these cards. So no. Dot count. Okay. So we're removing it and then we're destroying it as well. So right, I think that's good. I think that should work. I'm just going to put this in here, just so it doesn't accidentally create an infinite loop. It's like a sort of safety thing. So while the count is greater than 0, we're getting a reference to a card on the pile. We're then removing it, and then we're destroying it. Because I was thinking of trying to like you don't need to remove the parent, you know, even though you can just go flat, destroy it. So let's just use this and. Right, so we're drawing 2 and then the rest are shuffling in. Bah, 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 bah. And now I want to check. Ah, okay. It's paused. Let's try and work out why that is. Let's have a look. So, I think I know why that's the case. Because we've destroyed them. We've destroyed them and the deck strip can't access it. Which is fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's tie that up a bit. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, so we're actually adding the cards before we're physically putting them there, but that's okay. So, right, let's see if this works. Yeah, the main reason I want to do this is because it means when you've emptied your deck the second time, it's going to suddenly create like all the cards that are in the original discard pile and the new cards that are in discard pile, so essentially double up the size of the deck, and that's not what we want. So let's see if this works. So we get all there. And moment of truth, as the discard pile actually got rid of, yes, it's completely empty, that's good. So yeah, nice. Okay. Right. I mean, I think, yeah, to be honest, I'm quite happy with that. That's it's actually been like, yeah, because I knew this end turn was going to take a little while. So we've got to work out what. So the general premise of the game is there's going to be a big enemy that's going to attack, and you've got to prepare. You've got to have 3 turns to prepare, and then it's going to start attacking, and then you've got to kind of use cards on the fly to be able to like kill, kill and defeat the monster. And I think it's going to be, yeah, like I'm quite trying to think if we're going to if I'm going to end it here. Let's think. Yeah, just because I think I've sort of made some nice progress. I've done the end turn button. I've kind of fixed the shuffling bit. I might do something sort of slightly, which is not quite as processor, which won't require quite as much brain work. Where like you can hover over here and it just says how many cards are in, how many cards are actually in the deck, which would be useful because I think when people are playing, they're going to obviously want to have a little look. They'll just be like, "Oh, right, okay, what?" Yeah, I think that's going to be right. Might be where I'm going next. Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of that sort of slightly said. I was like, oh yeah, I knew this end turn button was just going to take me a while, and I hadn't really had any sort of major plans as to where to go next. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll probably end it here, and I'll probably do quite a long one next time. So I haven't. Yeah, it's going to be either Thursday or like a week Saturday, or I might just do another bonus stream. I haven't worked out yet. But yeah, I realised that it's like when you're actually doing coding solidly for this while, it does actually sort of frazzles your brain slightly. But yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been cool. Yeah, thanks for like hanging out. It's been really cool. I do appreciate that. You've genuinely been helpful like a lot. So yeah, cheers though, man. Right, anyway, yeah, I think I will call it here. But yeah, this has been genuinely, yeah, a lot of fun. And I'll work out my next move. I think next time I'm going to be creating the monsters and stuff. And I'm going to be fixing a few little easy things. Anyway, yeah, thanks for hanging out, and yeah, and I'll see you again soon. All right, cheers. All right, bye.